Hey guys, my name is Guillaume.
My name is Kris. Welcome to Thomann Guitars and Basses. Woo! This is gonna be a different one. It's not gonna be a hey, here's a new pedal, here's a new guitar, here's a new amp. This is what to do with it. This is gonna be some sort of a rambling and philosophy of bonding with a guitar. It's actually interesting. If you think about it, there are guitar players, famous ones, millions of those, who stick to a guitar, maybe two. Like Jimmy Page had his two Les Pauls. He ended up playing most of the time. Andy Timmons plays his original Ibanez still, like he has all the guitars, but still sticks to that one. Stevie Ray Vaughan, you name it, Eddie, they always had a guitar or a couple of guitars they bonded with and stick to those guitars, or just that one guitar, Rory Gallagher, etc. But then there are some other guitar players, famous or non-famous, who just don't really care. As long as it plays nice, they're good.
Yeah.
And it's interesting if you think about it. Why is that a thing? Why isn't everyone the same in regards to guitars?
If you have a lot of it, you can buy all the guitars. If you don't have a lot of it, you cannot buy all the guitars. Therefore,
yeah, that's like 50% true. Yeah, but not exactly.
Yeah, first of all, there's that sort of difference, even though it's not always clear cut and you see guitar players like experimenting with different things, even though they might be known for a guitar. But I think the one part of that everyone can relate to is like you put all your love and expectations into an instrument that either you grow with or that you think, oh my God, that's going to be the one, that's going to be the guitar that I will play forever and always. And then it's like, it's there. Almost, but not quite. And then that guitar that you wanted to love so much, you end up like not really playing. So like some of you might be in that position of like maybe, you're happy with the guitar you have, but there's one that you see in that glass cage at the shop and it's like, one day she will be mine. Oh yes, she will be mine. And then you get it and it's like, what's that about? What's that relationship about? And
okay, quick questions. First, you do have your pink Strat. You took it with you this morning, and
yes.
I was so happy to see it. I grabbed it immediately because I haven't seen it for months. I think months, right?
Yeah.
You never take it with you from home. I see your Instagram posts. You do use it.
Yeah.
It's all cool. But is there something, I don't know, happening?
Something hidden there? No, not really. The thing is, this is my best sounding guitar. This is one of my best playing guitars, and it holds a place, a very special place in my heart. But if I had to rescue either one of these two in a fire, I'd save my blue Strat always.
Oh, wow.
This has always been my favorite guitar because I've had it for a very, very long time, and it went through every pickup configuration possible. I've refretted it now twice, once successfully.
Yeah, the second one was a good
effort. And it's like to me it's a more, I'd say, a special instrument, regardless of its very, very poor market value at this point.
Yes. Awesome relicking job, by the way.
Beautiful routing, Like, this is the cavity right there. I spooned it out. It's a special guitar, but for those reasons, among others, and it sounds amazing.
It's an awesome guitar, but is it the neck profile? Is it the sound? Is it the looks? Is it none of those?
I think it's just, it's none of, and all of those is the relationship I have with the instrument. And yeah, that's
okay, so how much do you want for this guitar? I'm buying it. I don't think it's for sale.
I don't want this. No.
All right. It was worth a try. Okay, but so I think I put it on the ground. I will not step on it. Maybe.
Let's try not to.
Okay, there's this thing about bonding with a guitar and getting inspired by a guitar. I think, and this might be a hot take and you might laugh at it, and please do so in the comments below. Let me know what you think about it. Ha ha ha, lol. I think that some people, like, we get inspired by every single guitar in a different way. Some people are sensitive to that, and some are just pretty resistant and just keep on doing their thing, no matter what sound they play with, no matter what kind of guitar they hold, no matter what kind of amp or amp sim or whatever they play, they just don't mind. They play the same well as long as the guitar plays right. They're like, yeah, it's whatever, just give me something that works. It's a tool, shut up. I totally get that, and I think those are the people who would end up just playing whatever guitar, and if they're famous and wealthy enough, I don't know, John Petrucci will play another Majesty every single show, I guess, or like has a selection of guitars, 15 for a tour, plays those, and then puts them in storage and grabs other 15 for the next tour, because it's like, it's nice to have something fresh, a new finish, a new whatever. But I think players like these will love maybe the tool, but it's not really more than just a perfect tool. And I think, like, if you think of Stevie Ray Vaughan, he was super picky with every little detail on the guitar and had the string action super high just to have that tone that he wanted. He wanted all the freedom for the strings to vibrate, and was afraid to set the neck straighter because he was afraid that the tone would, or the sustain or whatever, would suffer. And I think it really comes down to how sensitive you are to the tool you have in your hands. Like, I play very differently when I grab my Les Paul, when I play my Strat, when I play my Tele, when I play any of my other guitars, which I love. It's a great thing, and it inspires you to play differently and entertains you, because you don't just play the same licks. You grab the guitar differently. But at the end of the day, if you want to have like something that is like, that is my go-to, my home, then I almost always end up using the Tele. And I guess I'm boring. I don't know, but it just all makes sense.
I think it's more like a school of thought type of thing, and everyone's going to subscribe to a different take on that, depending on where you're at with the instrument, what your purpose is. Are you just a songwriter? Does your guitar playing really just serve writing songs? In which case you have a guitar and it's going to help you carry through whatever you want to write.
That's your point,
Are you a guitar collector? Are you a guitar enthusiast? And then the music is maybe more secondary. Are you just like a tone chaser? Do you want to sound like this guy or that guy or that guy? And then you'll have a different guitar for a different job. It's just like, I think, different personalities of guitar player, but at the end it all boils down to your relationship with the instrument, and you got to make sure that sort of aligns. When you see a Bonamassa, sure, playing differently depending on which guitar he's got in his hand, but still it's always going to be Bonamassa. And Josh Smith is very famous for his take on that as well, knowing that if he's going to play a Strat-shaped guitar, he's going to immediately try and sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan. While if he's playing the T style, like now his signature Ibanez, he sounds like himself. He's always been pretty vocal about this, and I always found that really interesting, because it's something that can happen, unconsciously to an extent.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not something you control, I guess.
No.
I mean, you can make people believe that you are unconsciously doing whatever, but it happens to you. You cannot really do something about it, and that's, I think, the cool part is, whether it's the ergonomics, like the shorter scale length of a Les Paul that makes you play differently, or the different neck shape, or the weight of the guitar, the tones. I mean, the tone is mainly for me the reason to play in a different way, because if I play a humbucker guitar, I don't feel like doing these. These kind of things, even though I know other people will. But immediately it has a different vibe. Yours doesn't have that snap, but has a lot more roundness, sweetness to it. Don't listen to it.
You're snappy, baby. You're very snappy.
And that's awesome. But that kind of guitar would inspire me immediately, even though the shape is, kind of similar. It's because of the humbuckers, I
Yeah.
would play it differently. And that's, I think, I don't know, I think the main thing for a lot of people, I guess. Every one of you who has more than just one guitar and has the option of choosing whichever, do you end up mostly using one guitar?
Yeah.
Or do you end up using the right guitar for whatever you play and you don't really mind whichever it is? It's interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Especially like if you look at like John Mayer, he used to be like that Strat guy, right?
Yeah.
He always played Strats. Then when he was famous enough for the custom shop to say like, "Hey, we'll make you a guitar," he had the black one, which was like this heavily relict
Yeah.
black Strat with a white pickguard and gold hardware, and it was a fantastic guitar. And that guitar started such a hype around it. Like those guitars they were really expensive, but as soon as they sold out, they've become unobtainable, like
Yeah.
crazy expensive. Everyone wanted that guitar. That was the holy grail of every modern Strat player or John Mayer fan. And then when he went to PRS, he just ends up using any Silver Sky, whichever, a new finish. Then I play that one. He doesn't really mind anymore. I don't know. I find that weird.
Yeah. But I think it can be a bit of a deceived relationship as well. Like the thing is, like, sometimes reality doesn't really match up with your expectations, and I know he also struggled with that when he got the black Strat, because he didn't sound the way he wanted it to sound.
yeah.
And he was a bit like half there, and so he tried like a bunch of random things, like putting the guitar in the freezer overnight just to see if it made a molecular change to the instrument, while it was just a grounding thing on one of the pickups, and he had that fixed, and then the guitar was what he wanted it to be. And I think like that's also pretty true to what any one of us can experience. It's not really a question of are you that kind of player or are you that kind of player, but like what are your expectations towards a guitar or a selection of guitars, and how to make sure that you align with those. Like it can be pretty annoying and frustrating to invest into either a collection of guitars or one very expensive guitar or one whatever, and that not being quite what you hoped it would be.
Yeah.
And so that can also kind of change you to favor the guitar that you and that's going to sound like, I love you, baby, I really do, forever. But for example, taking you from that guitar that you hoped would be the holy grail of guitars and realizing it's not, and then maybe bonding back to the guitar that you've been modifying forever and that you've traveled with and that you've had for a long time, and you've done this and this and that with it. It's and putting that emotional value before whether it sounds great or it plays great. Like maybe it plays like an absolute dog, and you're going to be working on it for 5 years before it plays somewhat correctly because you don't know what you're doing either. It can be like a sum of factors that will basically determine whether or not you subscribe to one mentality or another. But at the end of the day, as long as whatever you're playing makes you happy, I think that's all that matters. But
yeah, I think that's also the beauty of this whole adventure of getting your first guitar, then maybe at one point getting another one, then maybe upgrading something or extending the collection. You had your favorite Strat, but you really wanted an ES335 or a modern guitar with a Floyd or whatever. It makes a lot of sense to try out different things to figure out how you really are and what inspires you most. And maybe you end up being one of those players who can equally play and enjoy anything. And maybe you'll end up being like the Strat guy or the Les Paul guy or the whatever girl. I think it's
could also
impossible to tell what you end up being at the
It could also be it could be a phase, man. It could be just like a period of time where you're going to need to collect 17 different guitars and feel like you're still missing 3 or 4 because you don't have the SG and you don't have this and that. And at the end of the day, you sell everything because you're like, I always play that one anyways. Like,
Yeah.
like, what's the point? And then you just have that guitar, and then it kind of creeps back on you. You're like, oh, I should have kept some humbuckers in my life, though. I should have done this.
All right, let us know what your take is on this, and what you think about this whole bonding with a certain instrument thing. Because
let us know which one it is too. We want to know in the comments, like, which specific instrument is your best friend or best friends. Let us know.
Which specific instrument is your best friend's?
English.
English.
Do you speak it?
Take care, everyone. Of course, check out the link below. You'll see all the stuff we played. We didn't talk about gear, but hey, if you want to know, you'll find everything in there. See you in the comments. Bye-bye.
You can't get that one.